Well, I have a ton to do, and I'm just gonna jump right in. Now, I have on chapstick, but I said I was gonna start being cute, overdoing it at home, so it's too late for the wardrobe. But I can pick out next week's wardrobe, overdress wardrobe. Um, oops. Oh, that would have sucked. I almost knocked my bubbler over again. I need to not even have it in any room that does not have carpet. God has just laughed at me in my spirit. God has just laughed at me and said, "Bitch, you said that like every time the bubblers have been broken, like they haven't been done so atop a carpet floor." Oh, one time it wasn't. One time it wasn't. One time it was on the kitchen floor. But anyway, the last time it got broke, it was on the carpet floor. So, matter of fact, I still want to shampoo the carpet there in that spot. But I'm kind of delaying because, quite frankly, we want to replace the carpet in the room where the bubbler was broken. But anyway, I'm going to do this right here. Should I try to use the bathroom first? Because no thanks to official American CannaEducation, no thanks to them, and thanks to Goddess, we have learned that THC, well, it depends on how you look at it. If you look at it automatically negative, which colonized minds will easily do, it inhibits your regularity. If you look at it from the perspective of ancestral knowledge, it can be used as a diuretic. Is that what they call it? Diuretic? What's Imodium? Not anti-diarrhea. I'm trying to pull up my pre-med. Anti-diarrhea. It prevents or treats diarrhea. Anyway, this ain't about Imodium. But cannabis can help with loose bowels. But if you are irregular and you need to be more regular from that perspective, it can inhibit your regularity. Keep that in mind. Well, don't keep it in mind because I'm not here to teach. Remember, I'm not here to teach nothing or change nobody's mind. But for those of you who know, you know. So, since I'm sharing knowledge and since we're prioritizing our biological wellness, let me go ahead and be detailed and specific and add that, on the contrary, CBD, I almost said CBD can aid with regularity, but that's a lie. As we learned that THC potentially inhibited bowels or aids as an anti-diarrhea treatment. We wanted to do further testing because that was kind of not baffling because you're like, well, we know cannabis to be so good that it can help with opposites of things, like it can help with high blood pressure and low blood pressure, right? Both. It really can. So in determining and in experiencing in that it proved to inhibit regularity, we also wondered if there wasn't a dosage or strain or method of ingestion that actually aided with regularity. So we did our own control testing and concluded that CBD, while it doesn't aid in regularity, it does not inhibit it in the way that THC containing cannabis does. So, first of all, the only way we found out about it inhibiting regularity is because Mr. is regular. I'm the one who's not. and he's one of those clockwork dudes. The king hits his throne, right? But he noticed that when he would come home, because he has a routine. He goes in the morning, and he has a routine when he comes home and goes to the bathroom before getting into the shower. So after cannabis became legal and we were using it regularly, he noticed that it interrupted his regularity when he came home. He would come home, wind down, like many of you wind down with a glass of alcohol. Like many of you wind down with alcohol. So he would come home and wind down and then follow his routine of using the bathroom and getting in the shower. Well, he noticed that if he came home and used cannabis, it interrupted his regimen. But he started to notice that when he came home and used cannabis in the process of winding down, it interrupted his regularity, his evening regularity. So after a while, he was like, I think that might be inhibiting my bowels. And so we proceeded to do because in the process of our own control testing, we continue to do due diligence. So we did additional research as we were drawing these conclusions. And we learned that in China, and we learned that in Asia, it is an ancient Chinese secret that they used to use cannabis for that reason, to control diarrhea. So that doubled down on the validity of our test results, right? In terms of cannabis inhibiting regularity. So we were like, okay, well, how will we test this from the other end of the spectrum, where could it potentially, in fact, help you with regularity? And so we said, well, how can you use cannabis without using cannabis that's inhibiting your regularity? So what he did was switched from cannabis to CBD. He'll still use cannabis periodically, but if he has to use the bathroom, it's going to be CBD. But if he has yet to use the bathroom that particular day, he's going to use CBD until after he used the bathroom. Then if he is free and clear and off work, he's going to use, well, that's not necessarily true. He might still use CBD because he's that dude. We're still kind of stuck in colonized mode, low key, where even though it's legal, it's legal here, we still know we're black and we still know the war on drugs is active. So, he's still really hesitant about allowing himself to enjoy the benefits of Goddess's elixir that she provided for humanity. Anyway, he does enjoy periodically. You guys have seen a few movies that we have reviewed together or talked through, because we be talking through shit and I just upload it. I don't care. I love structure and discipline. I have no problem with authority, but in the creative realm, when it starts to be policed and when you're being sponsored, you're getting pimped. You're getting pimped. So let me go ahead and use that term. At which point you begin to become pimped within that structure, then that structure is no longer yours. And hence the pimping, right? And it becomes a job. It becomes a job. And I have thought long, periodically over the years, about people who, well, we all know a lot of people sell out in general, in terms of how capitalism works in America. So that is what it is. The anything for clout type situation. But then you have some people that just accept a sponsorship. And there's nothing wrong with that. I would do it too. I have done it, we'll do it again. But mine always have clauses of creative control, so I could just be myself. If the situation calls for a personal perspective, somehow I have creative freedom to be who I am. Because if it's a personal perspective, what other person's perspective was you paying me to give? It's how the fuck I feel. If it don't align with whatever bullshit you trying to sell, then I'm not your spokesperson, bitch. Right? So, okay. Pull back. Okay. So the point I was making is that the way everything is capitalized, all the way down to character, to humanity, once you agree to get pimped on your social media platform, it's no longer a social media platform. It's a business. It's your business, and it might not even really be your business. If at the end of the day you still have to report to and depend on another monopoly, even if just to supply your supplies for whatever your creation. But anyway, erase everything I just said. I went too far. I did too much. I'm saying that these are social media platforms where we post what we want, right? Not to say that you won't get shadow banned, bitch, if you posting the truth. But we post what we want on our social media. Well, and that generally excludes those who have been purchased and are now pretty much sponsored by whatever bullshit they trying to sell you, right? Really, I have the hiccups. I lived through half of my life expectancy and I got the hiccups today. I guess that's going to be a yes. I got the hiccups. Is that it? Oh, guess not. I was going to say, when you only have a few hiccups and that's it? Because, in Southern Bells, say you hiccups mean, country women say you still growing. Country women say that hiccups mean you still growing. Yeah, so I've seen people even just take one sponsorship and then they have to do everything like that sponsor aligns. I mean, come on. When you sign up, you sign up and they give you a list of what you can and can't say and who you can and can't be aligned with. That may or may not be their competitors or whatever, because they want to sell their shit. That's at the end of the day, they want to sell their shit. And now they have purchased the use of your platform to do it on. So even it starts out as this one video. Okay, this one video, this brand. So that means I can't mention this other brand in the same video, right? Or I can't say anything negative about the brand that I'm talking about or whatever, right? All that's police, all that's pimping. You being pimped, all that's pimping. So you got to be careful about what you say and how you say it to present this thing, right? Look, I'm telling you. So let's take it a step further. You do so well that you get to become the bottom bitch. And these are the unpopular influencers, right? They're popular. They got a lot of pimps coming from all different kinds of angles. And they wonder why they get confused and end up having to do a video about them having a nervous breakdown. They can't deal with all this, all overwhelming. And they got so many haters and people want to see them. And then there's a scandal because maybe they wasn't shit in the first place. And hence the opportunists, hence their ability to be so easily pimped. And then they can't do what they want, go where they want to do what they want. Because in this day and age, there are these people are not. Ain't no 9-to-5s in post K-19. My phone just never rings until I turn the camera on. I know y'all don't believe that. It doesn't. And then my agent want to call me. Sometimes the phone call comes right when I'm about to share some. That's what I was doing, wasn't it? I was teaching y'all about the effects of cannabis on your gastric and on your colon and gastric system. Just for that, I'm gonna finish. I'm gonna finish. As soon as I get done with this walkthrough, this little silly walkthrough of how y'all be getting so easily pimped, you know, or how everyone is colonized to be susceptible to go for it. Because I'm not, I have to remind y'all, because somehow y'all think that just because I call bullshit don't mean that I don't have my own battles with various aspects of colonization. But anyway, this ain't about that. So what I was saying was about y'all getting pimped by these hoes. Yeah, so you have your influencers that have accepted a lot of sponsorship, right? At the end of the day, it's for the bag. Everybody chasing the bag at all costs, even at the expense of their own wellness and self-respect. And lives. They do it to death, to literal death. That's why y'all keep seeing your peers get killed on live. Imagine how many of them hoes doing that shit not on live. I don't even have no reason to cough just now, but let me fix that. Yeah, so at the end of the day, the social media platforms that were presented as if they would belong to the individuals, when you reduce it all down, that means that even these individuals' personal social entities are not even their own. And in terms of what I was saying about there being no more 9-to-5s, is as people don't realize that with the pandemic and everyone realizing that there are so many more things that they can do from home and without human contact, desocialization under the guise of social distancing. So with that means that at the end of the day, pun intended, everyone's going to be on call. It's not going to be hours to hours. It's going to be whenever you're needed on the job, you're going to be able to be Zoomed. If you're feeding your baby, just keep the titty out of the shot. But we need you to get this but we need this script edited, reviewed, and returned to us for the cast by this time. Please and thank you. Tell the kids we said what's up. That's gonna be the new job. The crazy part is we're all being convinced to perceive it as, oh, I'm at home, I'm on my own time, I'm relaxed, I get to do what I want to do. But you don't. You're now going to be in a position where it's comfortable for them to interrupt you doing whatever the fuck you want to do whenever they want to interrupt it for you to do this job. So 9-to-5 ain't 9-to-5 no more. It's 24/7. Yeah, weekends too, bitch. Weekends too. And simultaneously, they easing in the martial law ability of it all. That too. That too. I feel like I haven't done one of these videos in a minute, but I really have. In fact, I've been doing them more regularly lately. I don't care. What I'm going to do, take all this insight to the grave with me? Each one teach one, even if I reach a handful. If that handful can reach 5 zillion others, it's worth it. So, at least these videos will be here, even when I'm not, unless they decide they don't want them here, which I could see happening. Cause they show be, the plants are out here. I don't think I told y'all a story about the plant. I think I started to tell it to you and didn't finish because I think I chose to sit back and observe a little bit longer. Either way, everything's what I thought it was. I didn't miss anything. Hence that phone ringing while I was about to tell y'all what I was about to tell y'all. Okay, yeah. So I'll do my best to leave a timestamp so that those of you who are not here for that whole rant about getting pimped by sponsorships. If y'all wasn't here for that, I'll see if I can just recommend that you fast forward a certain amount of time. Hopefully I'll know that amount of time and I'll be able to put it in annotations right here. Okay. So yeah, we was in Asia, right? So yeah, in doing our own additional due diligence, we learned that in Asia they used it to as an anti-diuretic. That's urine though. Anti-diarrhea. They use it to stop diarrhea, to counter diarrhea, right? So I was like, see, there was a reason. There was a reason. We were supposed to learn that, man. We were supposed to learn that. And we couldn't learn it from me because I'm irregular AF still. But I need not to be anymore. But anyway, that's not what that's about. So the most logical way to test it beyond that is to just use CBD. So instead of full spectrum cannabis, he started using only CBD when he came home. So if he's going to use cannabis and has not gone to the bathroom, he's going to always be using CBD. Always. Sometimes he just uses it medicinally anyway, but if it's just something where he's winding down, he's going to do CBD, which also serves as a fantastic pre-workout sesh. And that way it makes the full spectrum cannabis that you use after for muscle recovery even better. So yeah, in the cycle of cannabis use, if he has not used the bathroom and we're using cannabis, he's going to be using CBD. Now, to add to that, I still can't say for sure, but I can, just like about the anti-diarrhea thing. So I can't say for sure, but I can, because since that was working for Mr. where the CBD didn't interrupt his regularity the way full spectrum cannabis with THC did. So I was like, well, let me indirectly do the same thing, because even though I'm irregular, I'm like, well, if I'm regular already, me using cannabis all the time sure ain't gonna help that if it does interrupt your regularity. So if I was already regular before I even smoked the first piece of cannabis in life, like that's just I was normal, that making me go less is not gonna be noticeable because I don't go much anyway. So I was like, I might be not necessarily helping myself in that department by not taking advantage of CBD as well. So when I feel like it's been a little while since I've gone to the bathroom, I probably could use a round. I probably could use a round on the throne. Then I actually use CBD and I go in. I take as heavy a dosage as I possibly can. I'll take a good, now, and I don't know if there's a dosage or not. So with as irregular as I am, I said, well, I'm just gonna OD if possible. So what I did was, and what I now always do, because it seemed to work the first time, that when I use it to actually ironically help me with regularity, I will take 3 giant hits, at least 3 giant hits. I will exhale everything out of my lungs possible before I even put my lips to the thing, and I'm taking everything out of that bubbler. and into my whole spirit on all 3 hits. And then I'm holding it. That common knowledge fact that they trying to make everyone suddenly disbelieve for some reason. But I hold it, but I hold it too. So it's 3 gigantic hits that I fill up my lungs with, hold it, and then exhale it. And then I go to the bathroom. I mean, not immediately, but you know, it doesn't inhibit me from going to the bathroom. So it might actually help. I just can't confirm that right now. I'm still in the process of testing, but that's what I be doing, and that's how it works. Matter of fact, I can't do that because I'm already full of THC. I was like, matter of fact, let me do that right now. It's been a couple of days. Yeah, I said days. Ain't that crazy? I'm too old to be for all that type of shit to be staying in me. And it's like I can feel it now. I get what people mean when they say they felt sluggish, when they felt full of shit. So yeah, I think I'm gonna let this wear down and then just maybe do CBD the rest of the day. Which is crazy because I intended on getting so high today. Oh, I still could if I hang out with Rick, right? Because that has THC, but it's different. There's so much to learn. There's so much to learn. I wish you guys were on Patreon with me. But who knows? Maybe eventually I'll bring those conversations here as well. Yo, so I stepped out of the room, right? And you guys saw me step out, but you never saw me come back in and have a whole nother educational sermon, honey, about cannabis. And the reason why you didn't hear it is because when I came back, the camera had shut off. The camera's not full of memory. The battery's not low. Okay? But the camera had shut off. I didn't realize it had shut off because I just went in to go turn the music up and come back and jam for a few minutes, which I did before I went into the whole girl. It was cannabis. It was Cannabis 101, honey. The baccalaureate edition. But you guys didn't get to hear that information because the camera cut off. I didn't realize it had come off. I came back in here and I finished the whole lesson. And I was like, why is the thing not moving? Because this is an old device, so it doesn't have that red bar that the newer devices have. So I was like, it wasn't even recording that whole time. And I gave away some knowledge and information that I swear to God you will never get from your cannabis educators today. You'll never get it from them. In fact, you won't get it from anyone in the flesh other than me. My heart is beating so fast. I was like, girl, yes, girl. Oh, that was Goddess, I guess. It wasn't me. Well, it was me because I'm Goddess and she's me. But Goddess was like, yes, girl, give yourself your flowers. You are. I was shocked myself because I realized that it's knowledge. It really is knowledge, even though it came from her. It comes from her. It really is knowledge that no other people know or will share, even if they learn it. Because first of all, they would have to learn from me if I'm the only one that knows it. And then, which they wouldn't do, they wouldn't fuck with me like that. Because sociopaths don't do truth tellers. I get it. I'm okay with that. But then, like, you couldn't get it from books. You couldn't get it from your favorite gurus, gardening or cannabis gurus. Couldn't get it from your herbalists. Don't get me started on that. I went to a plant-based and herbs and home garden and all, using herbs for wellness or something. Clubhouse room. Don't make me tell you what what them bitches was talking about. I didn't want to call them bitches because I don't know them like that. They might be the nicest females. But them lying ass bitches in there making shit up like they are knowledgeable and don't know shit. You fucking kidding me right now? I was like, is this real? Are these supposed to be the bitches that know what the fuck they talk? These supposed to be the bitches that's knowledgeable about herbs? You gotta be fucking kidding me. You gotta be fucking kidding me. And then they have one, and then I saw them again, and I was like, I have to see if they really are fronting. And it's hard. Like if this is a consistent, like they so fake, they really gonna fake this shit to the end. You gonna keep opening rooms about herbs and you don't know shit about them. Is this what's gonna happen? So I went to the room again, same shit. And I was like, this is crazy. These bitches don't know nothing about nothing. Like, do they even use herbs? And if they call themselves selling shit, what are you selling to these people? Who told you to combine those things? I mean, not that they're bad or dangerous things that they're combining, but I just have to question after listening to their knowledge. I don't have to question nothing. You do you. But I have to decline from supporting your business selling herbal stuff. Girl, that's not for that. That's not gonna work. That's not how this is not how that's. But they probably gonna ball out. They're gonna ball out. Cause if these sociopaths like Tummy Tea, Fashion Nova, Goldie Gummies, Tummy Tea, waist trainers. Need I go on? Shall I continue? Because I am not lying. I swear to God, every time I see one of y'all go for something like that, that's like, to me, that's like a common sense thing. But I know what country I live in. Okay, I'm going to talk to y'all later. I'm going to get a couple of things done. Love y'all. I really do. Oh, hell no. That's my fault. Sometimes I let the smoke seep back up. Sometimes I let the smoke seep back up through my nasal passages when I want to taste it more. And it's generally not a problem, but it's not something that I recommend if there's too much smoke. If you know you got a thick, milky cloud, don't let it seep back up through your nasal passages. It ain't gonna hurt nothing. You're just gonna get a hell of a hit, and you're gonna, choke yourself out like I just did, but it ain't gonna hurt nothing. But I don't want to go through that. I don't mind going through it, but if you want to just avoid it, which I can understand it. Don't use the nasal seeping trick. If you know the cloud of smoke that you just built up is all billowy and thick and milky, because it's gonna be physically uncomfortable momentarily for you. That's it. Nothing serious. Okay. Oh, I said I was gonna do CBD the rest of the day. Fuck that up.